Hey folks, welcome back to DCS. So today we're back on the Tempest Fox 1 server, which is actually called Blue Flash, which I didn't include in the title of my last video. But if you search by player count, right now it's about 11 AM, 10:30 in the morning in the UK, and there's enough people on it to have a fight. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 v4. I just got 3 kills on the last fly out, which I may or may not include in this video, and hopefully we'll get a similar amount this time. So I was kind of hoping that it'd be more popular for when I could do this video, but unfortunately the timing that I have available doesn't line up well with peak times, so I just gotta make do with what we got. Anyway, let's get a rolling. MiG-29 is absolutely insane on this server. It's just a rocket ship. So let's gear up, flaps up. And back to now. So the gist of how this server works, and I'm not sure if it's going to stay this way because I kind of think it should get altered slightly, but basically you go into your comms menu, you press F10 to go to other, you press F2 for Overlord bot, and you press F1 for bogey dope, and it tells you where the nearest contact is. So 40 kilometers, bearing 096 at 1,000 meters. So in the mountains, that basically means, you know, it's below the mountain peaks. So let's turn bearing 096. Right now we have a 50 kilometer scan on the radar, so if he were in front of us and we had line of sight, he would appear on the radar. And that's basically how this server works. You just ask Overlord bot where they are, and then unlike on Enigmas, where you have to use your eyeballs to find stuff, now you've got sensors to do it for you, so you've got, you know, relatively decent radars and RWR, so if they see you first, you're going to know about it. So you just turn to where your RWR is pointing, and you've got a Fox 1 joust match on your hands, and it basically comes down to who's got the sneakier tactics, who's paying attention the most, and who spams Overlord bot the most. And whilst I do feel like an element of skill is removed by being able to rely so heavily on the Overlord bot, it does mean that you're able to have quite consistent fights, which is pretty satisfying. So he's very close now, let's focus down. So it's 127. I'm gonna get low. I might go around here actually.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
And I'm gonna ditch my tank. I just ditched my outside archers back still. Oh well, these were lighter, I guess. So let's ask for an update. 096 for 17. I'm going to start using vertical scan. What I do not like about the MiGs and the Russian stuff in general is that you do have to hold the lock button down whilst you're doing this, otherwise it doesn't work, which is very annoying.
Pull up. Pull up.
Merge 067. Oh, I see him. Nice. And it's as easy as that. So that's one Mirage down. And basically you rinse and repeat. So after that kill, everyone on the other team basically got into helicopters or ground attackers or something, and they ended up having to land and actually switch teams to blue and fly the Mirage. And so these are the 3 kills that I got from before I started doing the live commentary for the last kill you saw. Just as I said at the end of the live commentary section, you rinse and repeat. So here we are getting, following the Overlord bot. We get a lock on a Mirage in a head-on, switch to our 27Rs. We get the first shot off, so we start braking, we pop some flares. He does fire something that doesn't seem to track for some reason, and there he gets splashed. So we got pretty lucky there. If a Mirage sees you at the same time that you see it, and they manages to get a 530 off before you get an R27 off, you are basically fucked unless you're at merge point, because that thing will just out-accelerate your missiles, out-maneuver you. There's not, without killing it before it hits you, there's nothing you can do to save yourself from it, really. So, rinse and repeat again. Bearing 039. So we head in that direction. The one downside of Overlord bot is that if you spam it too much, there's a cooldown of like 45 seconds. In my experience, it doesn't ever really feel like it's actually 45 seconds. Blink and you'll miss it. Friendly flanker just flew across our nose in the distance. So for this next engagement, 33 kilometers bearing 071, I'm quite confident that I'm at the back of the queue and the guy in front that we engage is going to see the friendly first. So having seen that friendly just cross our nose on radar gave me a bit of confidence with this engagement, because it's an extended range engagement with a Mirage. I'm barely at max range for the R27s right now, so I'm dipping behind this mountain because I know that if he were to fire a 530 on me and he had line of sight throughout the launch process, I would just be dead and there'd be nothing I could do about it. So here I'm hoping that he's going to be focused more on the flanker or the whatever the friendly aircraft was that crossed our nose beforehand. And I'm just trying to stay low, and I'm hoping that where I emerge from this mountainside, I'll be able to actually see him. And I do see something, but it ends up being our flanker friend. I don't really clock for certain until here, so I'd unlock him, and then I'm looking for the Mirage, because I assume that the Mirage will be behind him somewhere, because it looked like the flanker was trying to loop over to get nose on something. But I never see him, I don't see the Mirage. And then I get a merge call for bearing 109, which is behind me. I can see the flanker flaring at the top of that loop, and it looks like the Mirage fired on him. Both appear to currently be alive, and I managed to lock up the Mirage with the helmet mounted sight. And I could have gone for guns here, but I didn't want to risk my teammate by not killing him as soon as I could, so just fire an R73 out on him instead. Flankers there, look diving away. So that's splash number 2. And then what comes next? We rinse and repeat again. We hit the F10, F2, F1 to get our bearing and range. Turns out in this instance, the nearest thing is a sentry. It's like 200 kilometers away, so obviously we're going to ignore that. And instead we just sort of fly around the main, like the front line for a little bit. Because I think Overlord bot does work on a line of sight system. Or so I saw an update in the Discord server for the server. But I'm not sure whose line of sight it means, because I don't think I'd have had line of sight of that sentry, and I don't think I'd ever have line of sight of anything that it picks out for me, so I'm not really sure what that means. It seems a bit overpowered, to be totally honest. But we head to the front line, we just fly around, do some lengths, a cap sortie basically, and see if we can't get a call out for someone closer. So here we've got our Mirage call out, 20 kilometers, 3,000 meters. So we're quite high up in the mountains this time, so he might actually be above the peaks. Because he's so close, I've switched to vertical scan again, and he's off to our right somewhere. So as we clear this mountain, I'm just going to roll to cover the hilltop with the vertical scan, and we immediately pick him up as he crests, fire a 73 off. He fires something off at me, I think, but it doesn't track, and there he goes, he's dead. So, playing it sneaky, using vertical scan, using your helmet mounted sight, using electro optical stuff rather than the actual radar, and you can sneak around pretty well. Unfortunately, on the way back, because I was so close to the front line, got squirted with some anti-aircraft fire, and it took my front leading edge slat with it, and my gear. So I think my hydraulics are gone. So I can't lower my gear, I can't use my flaps because they're asymmetrical, and I've taken some wing damage. So
I'm running from that Eagle, dude.
Oh, and my air brakes aren't working either, so it's hard to slow down. It's hard to control the jet when I am slow, and I don't have any gear. So I just have to belly land it on the middle of the runway. I wasn't sure whether that was a thing you can do in DCS, because I've not had to do it before, so I was half expecting to just blow up. And we're going quite a bit too quick for the landing, like 30 knots or 100 knots fast. Minimum, probably slightly more than that.
Pull up.
But thankfully,
Pull up.
we don't blow up, we don't even catch fire. When we come to a stop, I'm able to repair the damage and refuel, rearm and go back out again. And that is what you saw at the beginning, that was the live commentary section. So after that, the enemy team cleared out, and I switched to blue for a little bit.
Good luck.
Didn't go very well, I actually ended up getting humbled. I lost a fight with a flanker at altitude using R27s, so not even ERs. I actually wondered whether he had ERs because I was so surprised at how it went. So I might turn that into another video, I might not. Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video today, folks. Definitely check out the Blue Flash Tempest Fox 1 server if you are so inclined. It's probably the most fun I've had in this game in a while. My hope is to get some friends on with me next time, to get some teamwork going, see how that goes. So stick around if that sounds interesting to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.